Good morning, everybody. Well, we did every kind of video on knives that I can think of, except for making a scabbard. So let's make a scabbard right quick. I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 I've got to do today, so I can get these mailed out. And I'll do another one to show you all the finished up stuff, probably tomorrow or the next day. Alright, first thing you got to have is leather. And I get mine at the leather shop in town. It's cheaper for me to get it there than it is to order it. I haven't found a place to order affordable leather yet. You can get it, but they want a lot of money for it. Even at the shop in town, their prices have went up here lately. Alright, let's start with, turn the camera over here. With this Wallace 2 that I've got ready. There's the knife. Ain't that pretty? Now what I do, make a paper template that'll fit each knife. Just like that. That way when I get ready to make one, I just grab this template, grab my leather, and I've already got this one cut. I'm just going to demonstrate. Just lay it out on your leather. Take a fine liner or a pencil and just draw your pattern around. And it works the same with all of them. See, there's a template for a camp. There's a template for a creek. Now, since I've already got that one cut out, looks like that. Now, any markings that you put on there with your pen or your pencil or whatever, make sure and put it on this rough side. That's your inside, because you won't never see it again. Now, the first thing, the way I do, you cut you another piece to go here. That's your welt. Now what that welt does is when you stick the blade down in there, it keeps it from the blade from going in there and cutting your threads. It's supposed to. Sometimes it happens anyway, but just the way it goes. You trim your welt. Let me see. I'm trying to get better with this camera so my hands don't get in the way. Lay it around there. And right here at the point, that's got a fold. So you want to cut this back. Hang on, I'm being held. Alright, where was I? Alright, and this is how I cut my leather, by the way. Razor knife. I don't have a pair of leather shears. But the more I start working with leather, I'll get some eventually. The chickens are out and they're right at the back door of the shop and they won't leave. Alright, we'll line it up there. This end here, just want to cut that off even there. Now our welt is sized just like I want it. Now we're going to take the hole punch. Now you can do this with an awl. I use my old antique ice pick. Sometimes in a wooden mallet you can punch them that way, but it's much easier to punch them with the leather punch. Now, word about leather punches. This one was from, I believe, Walmart or somewhere. It is not worth $7 or $8. It is. On this thick leather, when you go to punch, see how that's hollow? These handles will bend in. And I heated these and tried to heat treat them to harden them and bend them back into shape. And that's just old cheap, some kind of pot metal. It didn't work. So for a very beginner, if you're using thinner leather, like this kind, it's like I use on the J-nail skinners and all, it may do you on those, but they're not sharp. They're just cheap. Now this one is the one that Harbor Freight sells, which when you first get them, they work pretty good. But after time, when you close them up, see the little anvil right there and the cutter, this thing loosens up and it won't line up. And these are, I think, $5 or $6 too. And they are also useless. And what I did, I got this one at Tractor Supply, over where they carry the horse tack and the horse equipment. It's $47 or $48. Very expensive tool, but it's solid cast steel. Now the cutter heads that came with it are like these. They're big and round. So I bought a replacement set of cutter heads at one of the hobby stores. I think it was Hobby Lobby. Like $5, and just replace the heads. And it lines up good. They're sharp. They're easy to sharpen. So if you're going to do much leather work at all, go ahead and spend the money and get you a good punch. That way you're done with it. Don't have to worry with it anymore. The Master Sergeant has one just like this that he uses, and I think he's told me he had it over 30 years. So it's the same brand, the same everything. So they work good. Alright, move this, and then all I do, find a starting point. Stay right in the center of that welt. That's why too, when you do your cuts, hold your knife or your scissors 90 degrees flat. Make it the flattest cut you can make. Now you can space them however you want to. You make real tight stitches, or you can come out, put a little bit of space in them. I double stitch, so I like mine with just a little bit of space. Makes it a little easier when it's time to sew it up. Now to me, the simpler the scabbard, the better it is. It works just fine. They look good, but you can get as fancy with them as you want. I don't have a tooling set to make the little designs and tools. I don't do all that. I may one day, but as of right now, I just plain old common scabbard. There we go. Now we got all our holes punched. Next step, take our old antique ice pick. Now this was in a box of junk that belonged to my grandfather. It had a long handle on it. It was busted at the end. I just cut it off. So who knows how old that thing is. Line it up. Now we want the holes in the scabbard to match these holes. So we're going to take and just mark it just like that. Put a little indentation. Y'all see that? My hand's out of the way. And this is the big push to get finished before we head out. Quickly running out of time. Alright, so we've got all our indentions. And all we do is line up, go all the way up, punch them holes. Alright, I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you the next step. Now we've got all these holes punched. What I want to do is line it up. I use these little clamps. Hold it in place. You have to work with it a little bit, especially on this thicker leather. Get it where you want it. And there's always a little bit of trimming to do in the very end when you get it all done. Need another clamp, hang on. These little clamps here, you can find them most anywhere. Tractor Supply, Harbor Freight. Found these actually at Kmart. We do still have a Kmart. Alright, and do the same thing. Take your awl, mark your holes here. That way they'll all, when you get ready to sew it up, they'll all line up together. This is the time consuming part, is doing all the punching and the layout. Once you get ready to sew, usually 10 minutes and it's done. Alright, now let's move our clamp like that, right out of the way. Now you're not punching this all the way through, just making a mark on the inside there. What's that fancy word? An indication. Some people ask me why sometimes I talk educated and sometimes I don't. I use my redneck vernacular. Well, the reason for that is 3 of my best friends in the world that I live right around here, I can call day or night that I need help. And here they come, you know, just they coming. One of them is a school teacher. The other is a author and a writer. He writes books and paints feathers. No, Ken, that I showed y'all on the feather painting page. He has a master's degree. Very smart guy. Speaks very proper. And the other one is well, the school teacher is also a local radio talk show host. He's on the radio. And the other one is also a radio talk show host and a chaplain. And he also has a master's degree. Talks very, very proper. And when I talk to them, I use, hey y'all over yonder, just as country as I can, because I see them cringe. It's just to aggravate them. They don't say anything. Now the school teacher, I call him professor sometimes, and he don't like that, but they all watch the videos and they cringe at my language at times. But I did graduate 6th grade, so I know how to talk gooder than most people do. Alright, since we've been this far, I might as well go ahead and finish punching these, and I'll show you the next step in this same frame here. There. Now those are going to line up with each other and the welt. Now the next step, determine whether you want a right-handed or left-handed sheath. Just fold it. Put it against yourself like that. Alright, that's a right-handed sheath. Now lay it down this way. Remember, go to what side you're going to go to. cut you a piece like that. That's going to be your belt loop. Put your line of holes right there. Now you want to fold this over. Now you can dampen it just a little bit. Soften it with your mallet, or do it this way. Put it in the vise. Because I don't like to dampen it because it takes so long for it to dry when you do that. Squeeze it down in the vise. There, my hand's in the way again. Alright, just like that. Because that's going to sit right here. Now we want to punch our holes here. Now this will get triple stitched because this is where all your wear is. Pardon me, on your hanging off your belt. Going through the woods, gets hung up on trees and this and that and the other. Now there's many styles of belt loops, but I prefer this one. And we're just going to mark our holes just like we did before. Now keep that as straight as we can on them holes. Down here, mark those holes. And same thing, we're going to punch them out. Punch. Now, punch is not going to reach those in there. So in that case, get you a piece of wood, some kind of softer wood. That's just an old 2x4. Punch your hole with your awl. Now you can do this with the whole thing if you want to. It just takes you a lot longer. And your holes wind up looking just almost the same. There we go. Now we're ready to start sewing. Now you sew this on first. Alright, let me get out my needle and thread and all that, and I'll start sewing. I'll start sewing. Showing you how to sew. That's what I'm trying to say. Now I almost never sit down when I'm working. I just can't. Unless it's sewing. We might have chicken for supper. Now this is artificial sinew. Comes in a roll like this. It's got a wax film on it. Very, very durable. Works real well. See if I can do this without my glasses. Thread your needle. Now come from the inside. Okay, leave you a little tag right there. It gets easier once you get a few stitches going. Okay, we stitched all the way across. Go right back through that same hole again. Okay, that right there is double stitched. Remember I swear on these we're going to go another. We're going to triple stitch this. Well, actually it'll be 4. What's that big word, quadruple? Because we're going to go back through it again. And if your holes are too small, you may want to use a thimble. And go back through it again, all the way back to the other side. Which I have a thimble in my little kit. I rarely use it. I poke holes in my fingers like that. Alright, now we're back to here. Now, the way I do it, and there may be another way to do it, but this is my way. Tie an overhand knot. Twist it up like that. These are good to have leather working too, EMT scissors. And these are not real good ones, but they work pretty well. And up there, and now just send you a melt. Burn them ends, melts that whole knot together. Just like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'll do the same thing on the welt. Same way to sew it the same way. All you do is line your holes up. Put it together. Put your little clamp to hold it in place. Whoop, camera's over here. Just like that. Now when I get part of the way up the welt, I'll show you when we get closer to the end. And then that's all there is to it. Alright, we're on the final stitches on the main part of it. And you got to throw it down on the floor, or it don't work right. And as soon as I turn the camera on, I can't find the... It's right there, I feel it. There we go. That happens sometimes. Get on the end out of the way. And these two bottom stitches can get a little irritating sometimes because they're real tight together on that fold. Pardon me. Now we'll come back through there. Me and my expert camera work. Tie the same knot we did on the belt loop. That. Now, with the exception of trimming that off, there you go. That's how you make a scabbard. Now, the more you use it, the more it'll form into shape. And I'll put some color on it, leather dye. And the small scabbards, like the J-nail Skinners, do them exactly the same way, except the welt on those, I glue those in with super glue because this is so thin. Then I'll glue that side there, trim it all up, punch the holes, and sew it the same way. And then put holes in it for the paracord, hang around your neck. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope I didn't bumble around too much. I got scared. I got company come over. That is Frank from Addie Girls Homestead. Come to visit me today. Fred. There I go again. I do it every time. I don't know why. I just do it. We're going to have to go down the road and meet Frank one day. Alright, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support. We'll see you later. Alright, before we go, there they are. Ready to mail out. Get them packaged up today. I'll run them to the post office tomorrow. And I know what you're thinking. Say, oh wow, Rick, you're caught up. Got another pile to get finished up here the next couple days. Well, there you go. Thank you for watching. Bye.